This is Johnny Bluestar. Welcome to Threshold, a global media event.
And now, Threshold Radio is proud to present Kathy Hoggan and the Perilous Path of Sugar Addiction. When I lived in Tulsa in the 1970s, I was friends with Mary Ellen Smith, a television broadcaster who was very instrumental in my first real media project, The Adventures of Ganymede Jones. I had the pleasure then of meeting in Mary Ellen's station two extremely interesting guests, the famed actress Gloria Swanson and her husband William Dufty, who became an almost legendary author in the field of holistic medicine. His book, The Sugar Blues, is still famous today and a very useful book indeed. Gloria Swanson was the inspiration behind Dufty's assumption of a change of lifestyle and ultimately a powerful campaign against sugar addiction in the 1970s. Here's what Gloria had to say about a conversion to a sugarless diet.
Miss Swanson, we've all known for a long time that you're very against sugar. You haven't eaten it for a long, long time. But what else can sugar do to you apart from it? We know it makes you fat, but what else is bad about it?
Well, it isn't a natural food, and it's so nice to know that we have 3 nutritionists with us, because that's quite unusual for MDs to be nutritionist-minded. And I was fortunate enough years and years ago, because I met up and was blessed by being ill when I was in my late 20s and being blessed by meeting a doctor. Well, I say a doctor, I mean an MD, who also became a biochemist, and who treated everybody with food instead of drugs. So I've been blessed all my life. And I find that, even according to his way of thinking, that sugar not being a natural food, being man-made, every time man tampers with something, you can be sure it's not as good for you as a natural, normal thing. And as a child, I was brought up on sugar cane, but when that white stuff came along, and in those days, I'm talking about way back when, because I've been around long enough to remember, that no one ate 100 and some odd pounds of sugar a year, which seems to be the consumption now, according to statistics even from the AMA. Therefore, there was so much sugar has been one of those things that is getting more and more and more on in the food, the packaged food, because we're going into more packaged foods. When I was a little girl, there wasn't so much packaged foods. So I found that, according to my Dr. Beeler, he told me that I shouldn't have sugar nor salt, because I just did, salt was just as bad almost as sugar as far as the arteries are concerned, and the fact that it was also, sea salt was something else again, but when you tamper with it and you put something in it to keep it from coagulating and something else to make it white, and you do the bleaching, it's like the white flour. I don't want any of these things in my home.
Well, that was back in 1978. Now, here's somewhat after the dawn of the 21st century, the continuing prostitution of our food has continued onward, and there are other voices who we must now listen to. One of the frequent participants in our show is Dr. Hugo Rodier, an integrative physician, who recently introduced us to our next guest, Kathy Hoggan, who has taken up a very extensive investigation of the problems with sugar. Join Kathy and I as we discuss the thorny problem of sugar addiction.